Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, we are welcome to buildhardjb.com live talk show. We are trying to do the FB live, but we are still trying. Then we just, when we doing for this one, we will just start our today talk. So today we are very honored to have our moderator, Engineer Felix, and our two speaker, Professor Handam, and also Mr. Ivan. Let's talk about the green buildings. So before that, I would like to start to give a brief introduction on the buildhardjb.com. So buildhardjb.com is an online platform to gather all the hydro construction information, and it's a platform to gather all the relevant industry partners together to share the information. So now to do the simple part, I will pass this section to the moderator, Mr. Felix.
Hi everyone. Good afternoon. Yep. We'll see again. Yep. Hi. As we know, this buildhardjb.com, we have a monthly talk that we will conduct. So every month we will conduct one talk. So today's the talk will be talking about, let's talk about green building. So today we are very honored that we have two guest speakers from our MGBC. So the first speaker will be Professor Technologist Dr. Muhammad Hamdan Ahmad. He is the Deputy Vice Chancellor Development of UTM, and he also the chairman of Malaysia GBC Southern Chapter. Hi, Prof. How are you?
Hi, Felix. Thank you for inviting me.
Yep, no problem, Prof. Heard that you have a very busy schedule this morning. Yep.
Okay.
So you guys just have your MGBC online meeting. I heard that it's a very successful. Congratulations to you guys.
Thank you, Felix.
Yeah. Okay. So our next speaker is the director of Cornell Green Consultancy, Sdn Bhd. Is a green building consultant, and he is also the vice chairman of Malaysia GBC Southern Chapter, Mr. Tai Ivan. Hi, Mr. Tai. How are you?
Good. I like your background. It's very green.
Thank you very much. I purposely to take a lot of green scene just to suit today, today's talk. All right. So without further delay, so actually today our arrangement is a little bit not too smooth, because actually we should be going live to FB, but now I think the FB have some technical problem, but it's okay. We can still continue with the talk, because this talk will be recorded and will be uploaded to our YouTube. So for those our participants, I think we have a few participants. Yep. So for our participants that interested in our talk, you can always go to our YouTube channel, and also can go to our Build Hub FB page to know more. And if you think that our talk is quite interested and knowledgeable, you can always please feel free to share among your friends. Okay, so today we will start our talk. We will start with Professor. So our today's talk, the first question will be, maybe Professor, can you brief us more on what is green building?
Okay, Felix, again, thank you for inviting me to Build Hub talk. The agenda for today is basically what is green building. Well, definitely green building is not building colored green, yeah. But today, I think when we talk about the word green, I would believe that everyone understand that when we say you are green, the building is green, the development is green, it is because of their concern about climate change. That's number one. Number two is because they are talking about sustainable project, sustainable development. Yeah. For example, it's quite easy to see green building, which is basically lush with a lot of open areas, landscaping, vertical landscape. When you talk about condominiums, it is part of that images of being green building. But the fact is that green building is basically about promoting challenge about climate change, and we are talking about building that address climatic change, building that is actually address issues on energy use in building, building that concern with the health and well-being of its occupants and users, and at the same time building that actually respond to the local context and climates. Yeah. So green building is about building that sits in its context, and it is actually because of the context, because of the need of using the building efficiently, so it is considered as green building. And of course, to be green, currently a lot of people say, do you have certification of being green building? Of course, that is an indicator. When you actually have certification of being or certified to be green building, then you can actually show that you are certified by a body that is actually certifying green building, like GBI or Greenery or Kasbi Iskandar, or MyCrest. There are a lot more that is available nationally, as well as you can actually go and actually look at leads from the states, and other green rating around the world. And this certification actually just to say that they have been rated, they have been actually voted to be green. But green building is not necessarily just having the certification. If we go back to our villages, our forefathers has designed our building very well adapted to the local context, to the local climate, so they don't have certification, but they are green in a way that they can adapt to the local condition and climate. So to sum it up, green building is building, to me, building that respond well with the climatic conditions of the location, but at the same time, it is very efficient, very energy efficient, and contribute to well-being of its occupant or building users. So that is, to me, what green building is all about.
Okay, well noted about that one. Yep. Okay, then Prof, then can you maybe tell us what makes a building green? Just now you got mentioned about there's some standards to follow. Maybe you can elaborate more on that part.
Okay, what make a building green? Apart from it is certified to be green, let me basically upload my slide just to use as a reference. Wait a minute. Where is, okay? I'm not doing that. So I go to the top first. Okay, so green building or green architecture that meets the needs of present without compromising the ability of the future generation. So this is the sustainability definition that can be adopted as green architecture or green building. Yeah. So green building also involve design and construction practices that significantly reduce or eliminate the negative impact of buildings, yeah, on its environment and its occupant with regards to site planning, safeguarding water use and water use efficiency, promoting energy efficiency and renewable energy, conserving materials and resources, and promoting indoor environmental quality. So what makes building green is that the building actually promotes or have this indoor environmental quality, as well as, you know, do not have negative impact to the outdoors or to its context. Yeah, so that how you can actually consider building to be green. Yeah. On the other hand, there is a lot of benefit of being green, yeah, or having green building. For example, health benefit. You know, this is the current or contemporary relevance of green building is about health. Yeah, a lot of people are concerned with their health, and green building can contribute to good health. Yeah, at the same time, when you have good health, yeah, you can increase productivity. You know, if you have a factory and the factory is considered as green factory, you know, it reduces sicknesses among the workers. At the same time, when that happened, it actually increased the productivity. I remember one of the research done in Japan, where if you use a lot of daylight in the classrooms, you know, even the performance of the student increase because of the relationship with the natural condition or natural environment. And when we have this good relationship with natural environment, normally we will increase our health benefit, and thus it will increase the productivity. Yeah, and of course, there is a lot of other good things about green building. So they are green when they use less energy, right? You can have a lot of things going on currently where you have zero energy building, yeah, low energy building, and even negative energy building, for example. You can coin all these names, but at the end of the day, how well they actually use energy in the building, yeah, and how actually you can replace normal energy, say, with renewable energy. And this is what one of or what will make the building considered as green. So when it is actually energy efficient, and of course you can lower your operating costs. And when you actually lower your operating costs, you can increase your profits, and this is actually a good thing. Yeah. At the same time, what make building considered to be green is how happy is the people who use the building. Yeah. So the happiness index will go, will go high because they are happy to use the building. And when this happiness normally come with the idea of relationship between indoor and outdoor. If we look at Felix's nice living room, for example, you can see outside, there's a lot of open spaces, daylight coming into your room. You can actually see out, and these are indicators of how green building, should be designed, and you can actually be alert of outdoor condition. For example, we just have a lot of rain and suddenly now it stops. So all this connection between indoor and outdoor actually increase your emotion, your attachment. So then, you have this higher happy index for occupants or user of the building. So there are a lot of things that you can actually say that it contribute to what make the building green. Yeah. So I stop there for now.
Yeah, thanks, Prof. I am quite agreed on what you're saying that what makes the green building is depends on the happiness of the owner. I think that is quite true. Yeah. So okay. So we move on. The next question I would like to pose to Mr. Tai, as a green consultant yourself, what are the benefits of a green building? I think a lot of people asking you this question, right?
Ivan, you have to unmute your speaker.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
What are the benefits of a green building? So when we are posted this question, then basically there are a lot. Depends on who is asking the question. For example, if it's a client, they will want to know what are the benefits of it. In the client context, they will be probably looking at marketing, because as a green building, it can be marketed as a green building, then it's good for their branding, because the customer, unlike previously, I mean, people want to stay in a lower and a higher efficient building. So when it has been labeled as a green building, it is good for their marketing. So that being one part. Then the other part whereby the client will ask is actually tax. Is there any green tax incentives? So we do have some green tax incentives for our green building, such as we'll get the tax from MIDA. How the tax goes about is, if a building owner create a new building at a cost of say 10 million, and if they want to make it into a green building, and the additional green cost of to make it green is 1 million, then the total building cost becomes 11 million. So there's an increase of cost of 1 million for the building. So actually they can have the tax rebate from the 1 million, the difference. But all this has to be certified by the consultant QS, and then it is being they reduce it from the tax, so from the income tax. Not just the government is not going to give you 1 million grant for it, but actually you deduct it from your tax. So there's the green tax that some client is looking for. But this green tax is actually applicable for building owner which they own. So usually it does not apply to a building whereby you want to sell. So if it is for residential apartments, then they are not entitled for that. So the government is actually encouraging building owners, such as factory owners or the mall owners, to take up this green challenge, because actually it costs them a bit more money to make the building green, but the government is giving out incentive to make it more comfortable for them to invest in green. Besides the health part, the lower energy part, the lower maintenance cost part, but people, when we are talking to business people, they want to know facts and figures. They want to have more direct impact rather than the impact later on. Of course, in green building, we also have other double tax rebate, whereby our minister announced that we can have double green tax for solar. So for solar, we have a separate tax incentive for that. So basically, when we, as a green building consultant, the most question they will ask is, what are the incentives? The current two incentive will be the double tax reduction for solar, and also the green tax from the incremental cost for green building. Yes, that's the.
Okay. All right. So basically, the benefits of the green building, beside on the environmental and the energy saving, I think the monetary wise, we will still have some tax reduction on and green tax. Okay. Yep. I think that is the benefits.
To put in another point is, in the local authority can also improve our benefits to the client, such as the Penang, there's a green council. So all the building that is being approved GBI Gold can waive certain part of their development costs, which reduce the cost for building or the development charge for the developer. I mean, because it's localized, so each local authority could have different standard or incentives.
Okay. So, so that one is more on the developer side, right? The development charges.
Yes, developer side.
Yeah. Okay. So, what are the green buildings assessment tools to define the green building? I mean, to check the green building. Any tools?
Yes. Alexis, maybe you can share the screen. These three tools on the screen. On the left, actually, is one of the earliest one, BREEAM. So actually, each country usually they have their own set of tools, because each country has their own set of parameters, because such as climate, like UK, there are 4 seasons. In Malaysia context, we only have summer. So the building tools assessment it will be quite independent of each country. Like for the US, the second one, LEED, they are very focused on energy because they spend a lot of money on energy.
Yeah, I think the line is not stable. Maybe Ifan. Yep, Ifan, your line is not stable. Maybe we wait for 10 seconds. Yep. Where's Mr. Tai? Oh, I think he disconnect already. Maybe we. Okay, maybe in maybe on the same time when we wait for Mr. Tai up, Mr. Okay.
His line is not.
Yep. Hi, Mr. Tai. Yep. Welcome back. Okay, your line.
The line is not green, not sustainable.
not sustainable. Hi, Ivan. Can you hear us? Hi, Mr. Tai. Yeah.
I can hear you, probably because of the rain, so
yeah.
activity might not be the best. I'm in the office. So yep. I will go back to just Singapore. I was saying Singapore is a very highly dense populated country. Okay. So their focus on green building tools will be more likely to be on their transportations as such. So for Malaysia, the tools GBI is a tool it is a rating tool developed by PEM, the architects and the engineers. Malaysia is a country quite different from Singapore, although we share the same climate, which is about the same, but we have our development is more on a landed scale, and we have a bigger, we have a wider range. The population is also not as dense, so our concentration on the tools won't be largely focusing on water. Like Singapore is very scarce on water, so we have more water. So the rating tools have different country have different tools. So for Malaysia itself, besides green building GBI tools, there are also other tools. Is there any next page for that? Okay, this GBI and MGBC, we will talk about MGBC later because GBI is like a facilitation thing. Tools. Next, this is the difference between GBI and MGBC. We will run that later. There's the role of MGBC. These are the Malaysian GBC and rating tools. So from 2009, we have this GBI. Then 2000, there's local city, then the local authority of its own tools. And my class is JKR and Kaspi Iskandar, which Prof is very much involved in it. So this is about what we have in Malaysia. Is anything else, please? Hi. I answer okay, for the tools, if you look back to the previous slide, then we have this GBI classification. There's different classification. From the lowest end, it's actually certified. This picture. Okay, tools. So for GBI tools, we have tools for different type of buildings. We have the retail, data center, we have ID tool, we have township tools, we have factories. Basically, each type of building has different character. So we need different type of tools to assess the building differently. The way we assess an office building will be very different from a residential building because the occupants' behavior on the building is also different. Like we need a different tool to assess a factory because of a bigger roof and also big space. Next. Yeah, I think there's some lag in the building. Okay, this green GBI classification is the minimum that we need to achieve the scoring point is 50 to be certified. The higher the rating, the so-called better the tools are. But to make it into platinum it costs much more than a certified. Certified green building probably costs on the development side maybe 2% more. And on the higher end, the platinum probably costs 10% more. But of course, you will have a much more efficient building and much more modern design building, but many of them will be more costly because of mechanical and system in. Next. Classification. So on the assessment criteria, is the 6 standard, except for the ID tool or the township tool. So we are focusing on energy efficiency, indoor environmental quality, sustainable site planning and management, material and resources, water efficiency and innovation. The scoring points add up to 100, but the scoring point for different type of assessment tools, I mean on the building side, the different type of building will be different. Like for the offices, then we'll be more focusing, have more scoring for the energy efficiency and vice versa for residential, and they are different type, but all these points add up to be 100. It's easier for us to know that the grading of the building, what type of certification we can get for our client. Next. This one will be the energy efficiency design until net zero, which is a good target to have, but it depends on the type of building. Like Prof also mentioned that there are even negative energy. There are buildings whereby they can create more energy than the building consumption itself, because we can get renewable energy such as solar. The next one. This is the UBBL for the OTTT, Energy Management System. Indoor environmental quality, this one is very likely to improve the health of it. It becomes more productive and you can process things clearer. It is, just imagine that you are in a building without windows, or you have a building with windows. That's how the hotel room price themselves, right? Sometimes the hotel room with windows, with a view, costs higher. The one without rooms, without windows, costs lower, because beside the view, you also have more ventilation and things like that. So it also improves the indoor environmental quality. Next. Site management. Sometimes for the client might not be able to choose the site as much because they are brownfield site, greenfield site. But the orientation of the site, whereby we can shield a bit from the sun, is also improve the heat load into the building. So that is part of site management. Next one should be material and water efficiency. Water efficiency, the pipeline, then there's grey water, then there's rainwater. The most basic that we have done for Malaysia is we collect rainwater. So all designer will need to have a certain capacity of rainwater downpipe into a rainwater harvesting tank, which is also part of green building. Next. Material and resources. For example, sometimes if we can use local product, not beside the buy local, because of that, we don't really want to import a lot of products overseas, because all these have logistical costs. When we want to import material from China, we need the freight. So the freight also use energy. So if we can source the marble locally, like from Ipoh, actually it improves the life cycle of the energy carbon footprint, which is also good. I mean, we have also very good quality marble in Ipoh, so we don't really need to import from Italy. Next. Innovations. Innovation are ideas, like new ideas on green features. Like this is a very simple one. We can have light tubes. Then there are other systems whereby there are new innovating ideas. So actually the tools give a way whereby they allow the clients to explore anything new in the market. So they give them a scoring on that. I think that's about it for the tools.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tai. Yeah,
then you get a facilitator course, so that you understand what's green building. I mean, it is a good course. We also run the course together with MGBC.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah. Well, there's quite a few tools to be used to access. So I can say that GBI is actually the green building index that are used by Malaysia, right? Mr. Tai?
Yes.
Yeah, GBI is one of the most popular.
Oh, is it? It only used
Popular.
in Malaysia, or in a foreign country also have?
At the moment, I think it's only in Malaysia, right, Ivan?
I think
we lost Ivan.
Yeah, we lost.
GBI is from Malaysia. Like other countries will have their own tools.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Then my next question is:
Usually
are
other
there
countries
any?
will have their own.
Yeah, are there any green buildings actually in JB or in Johor actually? Can you guys share? Do you know?
Sure. For Johor, I mean the obvious.
Work on Molek Mine, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean this one is in Malacca. I mean, in Johor, just briefly, without even looking at the slides, we have the local authority building are going for green. Like this one is Astaka. So the one beside it, which is a MBJB building, it is also a green building, certified green building. So the client, JB Astaka, the tallest residential building in Southeast Asia. This building is also certified MBJB Tower. Then the other local authority that we are doing now is MBIP, Iskandar Putri at Madini site. That is also a green building, is under construction. So they have a lot of green features which make it energy efficient and like that. So beside the office tower, there are also green building in the industry, such as this one, Volkswagen, is in PDP. It is a warehouse type of building, precast, very large factories. So Volkswagen is a green building factories. Why they want to have it as a green building? Because certainly it's their own building. They don't sell it, they lease it to Marks & Spencer and Volkswagen. Then they can claim some incentive for it. And usually the big MNC, Volkswagen and others will want to rent from a green building. The client is Pan Asia Logistics. So actually having a green building also command a higher rate. It's just like grade A building, office tower will command a higher rates of rental than a normal basic building, because the client do understand that if you have your employee in a grade A green building, then it also improve the efficiency of the employee and also their health, the overall wellness, the well-being of the person. So MNC will demand or require green building. So that's why we see a lot of big companies are going for it. So for the Johor side, there are other factories like even the Southern Lion along Jalan Terbang is that this is a new building yet to be built by IOI. The MEI Park is also green building. iPark is award winning. So it actually helped them sell much more building at a higher rate, more factories to the MNC, because the MNC, the corporate client, do like green. They also like the park. They like to be associated with energy efficiency. Like a lot of MNC, when they want to do a business, they actually look at the whole supply chain of sustainability. Beside green building itself, they also want to buy papers or their stationery from recycled material. I mean, if they want to make their company into a very pro-sustainable company. Next, do we have anything? We have done more factories in Johor. We have done a bit more of mixed development in KL, residential in Penang. So like Senibong Cove actually is a green township. So we can also have township, it being green. Like the local authority, the Kluang, they will have a new building, Pejabat Tanah. Because of this one is, Pengerang is still under planning. So the government is actually making a stance whereby they will want their own building to be green. So they actually take the lead to convert their own building to be green, which is very good. I mean, at least we see MBJB, a very big building, being green, and MBIB is completing. Then we will have Kluang, Pengerang, and other bigger building. I mean, local authority, because they own the building, they want to make sure that the building running cost is actually lower. Yes, these are the few most significant building. Some building which is not done by our company are also green buildings, such as Molek Pine 4. It is a platinum graded GBI building, the highest rating that we have in Johor Bahru, Molek Pine 4. So if you happen to go into Molek Pine 4, that building has quite a lot of green features. They have good glass, good insulations, a lot of greenery. So it is pleasant to stay in such a green building. Yes, these are the Penang one. So we have Pejabat, we have done some colleges, we have done some sales gallery of different type. For the Johor, ME, BMW, Volkswagens, we have done a lot more factory, Lee Sun Seng, Wentel. Factories owner like to have their building being green because it is their building, their own building. Client who want to sell the building away are less willing to spend money on green because the future maintenance cost does not affect them. Yes, Astaka Super Condo will be a very significant building. Yeah, I think that's about it for our experience in Johor.
Okay, I see.
This one was the Southern Chapter when we first formed.
Yeah. So, Mr. Can I ask you for the Astaka, the tallest building apartment in Southeast Asia? Do you have any idea what are the green criteria that they have? Maybe just state out a few points. Yeah, because I'm quite curious.
Green criteria. I think it being, because beside it being tallest, it is also one of the most luxurious. So if it's being luxurious, the energy consumption of the luxury part can be high. So I think that's also one of the reasons that they want to make it green. And when you are selling a very expensive, a very high value condo, you are dealing with clients which are much more affluent. There are a lot of foreigners like Japanese, Korean, who bought into that super condo. And the lifestyle that they wish for are usually, they do like sustainability. I mean, because they understand the needs to conserve energy, the needs to make sure that the Mother Earth is being taken care of. So they will of course naturally want to buy a building which is green, and they know that the money spent on every space that they invested in is actually being accounted for. They are the type of people who are much more conscious. Not everybody want to spend on luxury just by make everything gold color. I mean, that's the perception for Astaka Super Condo.
I see. So is it the
Yes.
the developer also can deduct on their development charges, from your opinion in this case?
Yes.
Okay, so the development charges can be offset for the Astaka Padu case.
No. The local authority is specific for Penang state government.
Yes.
Not for
yes.
Johor. Johor, maybe like Prof or Puan Mamuna can bring it to the government liaison through MGBC, that then we will have more of green building because they are to the client, the developer side. That's actually, it can be also a criteria for them to go to build, like MBPJ and KL Town Center, DBKL, all new building of a certain size has to be a minimum green building, because a conventional building will use up much more energy and spaces and create more waste, because a part of green building is actually recycling. If we have insisted on green building development in KL town, then they will have less recycling. When they have more recycling, then they have less waste, because KL is very congested. If they don't make it into a green building, then they tend to have a lot of waste, which is not good. So actually, the development chance incentive can go down to local authority level.
Yeah. I think we have recommended to local authority to look into development fees, to reduce development fees if developers coming up with green development. Yeah. But like Ifan has said, only Penang and a few local authorities in the country has actually given incentive towards green building development. We have actually included in our low carbon society blueprint for Iskandar, Malaysia, that locality should actually give incentive. But of course, as everyone know, local authority is federal, land matters is actually state. So there's a lot of things that need to be clarified before they can actually make that decision. Currently, I don't think any local authority in Iskandar, Malaysia or in Johor actually given discount development fees to developers. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's still be a long way, I think, for the Johor authorities. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
so
they're doing something, but not giving the discount yet.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Prof, since you're on the line, so you as the chairman of the MGBC Council Southern Chapter, would you like to introduce your chapter to all of the audience here?
Okay. Let me get my slide here. All right. So okay. All right. Okay. So I would like to introduce Malaysia Green Building Council. As you mentioned, I'm the chairman of MGBC for Southern Chapter. Ifan was the former chair and now is the vice chairman, which is interesting. But I think we have we have tried to set up our own Southern Chapter a number of years ago, but only last year we managed to actually organize ourselves and actually register ourselves as MGBC Southern Chapter. Yeah. So we like to thank Ifan and our team who has managed to actually register ourselves as Southern Chapter. MGBC is actually a non-profit making organization or NGO. Non-profit NGO to promote sustainable buildings in Malaysia. I think today's talk on what is a green building, what make green building, why green building is important, the benefit of green building. It is part of the mission of NGBC. Yeah, it's actually to support development of sustainable building, including green building. NGBC also is leading the building industry to embrace responsible measures that will help realize energy saving. So we were discussing about energy efficiency building, how we can actually save energy, but at the same time save electric bills, water conservation. I think I remember Ifan showed rainwater harvesting, recycling of grey water, and so on. So this water conservation is also part of promoting sustainable building, i.e. green building. Ifan also shared a slide on healthier indoor environment. And of course, good public connectivity, recycling of valuable resources, provision of greenery and development. So all these are part of green rating, as what Ifan has mentioned earlier. And MGBC basically is the so-called the co-founder of GBI. And that's why I think MGBC and GBI go parallel, and normally MGBC will promote GBI. But I think for MGBC Southern Chapter, we like to say that we are promoting green development. We are promoting green building, regardless of which rating tools that they use. Even if they don't use rating tools, if they actually helps in making our environment better, our building better, I think we need to appreciate that. And I think for IRDA, we have implemented suggestion by low carbon research groups on low carbon society in Iskandar, Malaysia, by coming up with Gaia Award, yeah, Green Accord Initiative Award, which is now into our 4th year. So this year, Ifan showed briefly the slide of our Johor Bahru Municipal Council building, which we has awarded the Gaia Award for 2020. So if you talk about, do we have example? Yes, we do have one example in terms of local authority who are certified green building, which is MBJB. Yeah. At the same time, I think we have new building coming up like Johor Land Tower, yeah, which is also certified green building. I believe the Sunway Big Box is also green building. I'm not sure whether they are certified, but they are one of the building awarded Gaia for 2020. So I think MGBC in Southern Chapter, we have currently slightly more than 30 members, and we would like to increase the memberships. And we hope that with activities such as webinar sessions and today's talk by BitHub JB, we can actually increase our memberships. Yeah, the more people supporting the cause of sustainable buildings or green buildings, I think the better for Johor or Johor Bahru. Yeah. Again, we have to remind ourselves that when we talk about southern chapters, we need to include Melaka, Negeri Sembilan, and Johor together. So I believe that in the future, we can invite our friend from Melaka and Negeri Sembilan to also get involved in our activity. Yeah. So maybe BitHub JB can actually invite someone from Melaka to talk about green building in Melaka, as well as someone from Negeri Sembilan to talk about green building in Negeri Sembilan. Yeah. We hope MGBC can play significant role in increasing the development of sustainable buildings in southern region. Yeah. So thank you, Felix. I'll end there for introducing MGBC.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Thank you for the briefing on the MGBC. Okay, all right. We have a Q&A session here. It is for Mr. Bahawan. Yep, Alexis, can you open up the mic? Is it on the line? Hi,
hello,
Mr.
everyone.
Bahawan.
Hi, how are you?
Yep, I'm fine. How are you?
Okay, fine, thanks. I should say hello to my dear Professor Hamdan, and all the other people in our online meeting.
Yeah. So,
hi, Bahawan, to meet you online.
Yes, Professor, during the coronavirus, we have this opportunity to see our friend and also my supervisor online.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are safe.
Okay, thank you so much. If you let me, I have some question about the green building and also sustainable architecture. The first question, you know that when we talk about the sustainable architecture, I think many people are not interested in it. And when we are going to the practical section, they are just think that we are going to add some extra, for example, cost to the building. How we can satisfy them, how we can interest them in sustainable architecture. This is my first question. If Professor Hamdan help me with that.
Okay, interesting question, Baban. I hope you are here in Johor that we can discuss over coffee or over tea. But I believe you are now somewhere in Istanbul.
Yes, I'm in Istanbul right now.
All right, but Istanbul and Johor Bahru seems very close online. Okay. Yes, I think we have experienced before that no one is interested in sustainable building, and there is always this belief that when you engage with sustainable development, sustainable building, green building, you will have to incur more costs or capital costs or construction costs. Yeah, there are some truths in that. Basically, when you decided, to have green building, during design development, during construction, I think then it will cost a little bit more. And I think Ifan has suggested that if you go for certified green rating, which is about 50 marks and above, it will probably increase by 2%. If you go for platinums, the cost of constructions may add up for another 10%. Yeah. Well, I don't particularly agree with that, because I think if you started designing from the beginning green building, the cost would be nothing, because the cost of the building is actually decided when you complete the designs and before you actually embark on the construction. You're talking about the real cost of the building when you actually integrate green features or concept of green architecture. You cannot say that you are going to compare green architecture with normal or conventional architecture, and then you see the cost, the difference of the cost. Because at the end of the day, how do you know one building is not green against the other, right? So when you have the concept built from the beginning, there is no such thing called increase of costs. It's just like any conventional building. You have to start with the concepts, and when you actually derive the final drawings before the construction, and our quantity surveyors will start making the costing of the building, that is the actual cost. So I don't believe that if you started having green ideas from the beginning, it will actually increase the cost, because to me, it will be the cost of any building. So we can change the perceptions of how people would think about green building when we, start with having that in mind from the beginning. Yeah. And I think if you have a good green architecture proposal, and if the clients or developers buy the idea, they will be spending the money anyway. So no such thing called increased construction cost. That's what I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
all right.
All right.
So, Mr. Bahawan.
Could I ask my next question?
Yep, sure, please.
Okay, thank you. The other question about the, Professor, that when we talk about the sustainable architecture in university, students sometimes think that it's in conflict with conceptual design. They are more interested to design some complicated building and some complicated forms. I mean the form of the building. But how we can satisfy them with that it's not in conflict, the sustainable architecture is not in conflict with the conceptual design or conceptual architecture. And we can, we have to combine them, we have to integrate them both together and then come up with a new idea or come up with a new design.
Okay. Again, it's an interesting question, very difficult to answer. Again, it depends on how you define, say, green concepts against, say, conventional designs, or you say, student love to actually look at form instead of the function. But at the end of the day, if you start from the beginning, what make up a green building? What kind of design thinking that you have to put in for green building? Whatever is the form that come after that is still result in a green building. Ifan has showed the slide earlier. There are so many different forms, facade treatment, and still they are green building. Still they are green building, because if you look at certification, you are scoring points, and then if you score 50, you'll be considered a certified green building. If you score 86 to 100, you call platinum green building. And this scoring, regardless of how the result of the architecture will actually give you a green building. So I would like to share a interesting slide that I have. Let me see. On this particular issue. Okay, I'll start here. Right. So if you look at this slide, this is different context, different climate. We have Kuala Lumpur, we have future Johor Bahru, which is now rapidly developed. And then we have Dubai, everyone know Dubai. Are they different? Right? They are not much different. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. And then this is another interesting slide. This is high rises in KL. They do look the same, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. But one or some of those buildings are green. Right?
Which one?
So you cannot tell which one. So let the student design. But if they understand what makes a green building, so the building become green in a way that if they actually embed the criteria of becoming green building. So I have this one. I think Ifan has shown the component of what make a green buildings. So if the student go into energy efficiency, they put in the renewable energy integrated with the IPV. Even though they just design a box, they are still green building. And then you look at material resources, they find reduced carbon embodied materials, and they look at into water efficiencies. They just buy, just say specify, zero water. So they will score some points. And then, they bring in, say, you have done this, what do you call it, solar chimney, and this solar chimney is called innovation. So you score another point. So when you tally up all those score, you will get certified silver, gold, or platinum, right? This is one of our icon in Putrajaya. This is our energy security commission building. This is platinum building. So do you like it?
Yeah, of course.
Some people say this is not tropical; it's all glass, right?
Yes, it's a glazed facade.
Yeah, it's a glazed facade. Some student will get E, some student probably, if the professor like it, so they score A. But at the end of the day, this building is platinum. What about this building? This is not green building, because this Niaga building, even though it is an award-winning building, it is not certified green because they don't go for rating. Right?
Okay.
But a lot of people say this is green.
Yes, it's a so famous building.
Yeah, what about KLCC? Of course, they don't also have certification or green building certification. But some people say this is evergreen because it really, designed with context that Malaysia and Islamic countries and so it is green and pleasing, but it is not green certified.
Yes.
Right? So
Okay,
I've done this research with my student. So we actually asked public to rank numbers of photos of high rises in KL, and whether this photo suggests to them that the building is actually green or having green features. Yeah, well, it is interesting because some of the green certified building is considered, do not look green. Yeah, by them, by the students. Yeah. So this is the top 4. If you look at this top 4, I think none of these buildings are certified green. Okay, but the students feel that this 4 building in KL is suggesting they are sustainable, they are designed with green in mind, environmental friendly and things like that. But they have not gone to certification, so they are not considered green, right?
Okay, yeah.
This is the second ranked, right? And one of it is green building. Okay. And this is the last 3. The platinum building is the last 3 group. So it is platinum, but because it has a lot of glazing, the student do not feel that it is promoting green building. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So this is some of our finding. Yeah. So the finding is that it was fascinating to note that high-rise building, known by many experts and awarded as sustainable building with energy efficiency system, did not rank highly by the lay public or the student. Yeah. So this illustrated that public see the images of sustainable buildings different from the outside, and there are certain features that they associated with sustainability. So we have to find out what is this associated features that student or normal public say, yeah, that building is green. Okay.
Yeah.
So, so since this is actually their top ranked building, so high-rise building incorporating deep line of shades and balconies, having voids and louvers were ranked highly by the lay public, right? So if you look at our local authority building, MBJB building, which we have awarded Gaia Award last week, they have all these features. They have this line of shades, they have some balconies or voids in the building, they have louvers. So this is actually some of the features that explain images of a green building. Yeah. So they perceive this feature as an image of, in our case, tropical. So if Bahavan from Iran, I'm not sure if you are in Istanbul, then what image is talk about Istanbul. Yeah. So this image will also, interesting enough, is part of our domestic architecture that mostly relate to passive strategies. Yeah. So to answer your question again, if our students start with looking at what is our passive design strategy first, we call it low-lying fruit strategies, So you start with passive design, then you at least embark on, say, technologies or active technologies to support indoor comfort and indoor climate. Then I think, we are talking about embedding green building into students' design. Yeah. So finding number 3 is the key finding is that the use of full low E glazing, even though low E glazing is good, or double and triple glazing, what have you, in high rise, even though they are efficient in controlling heat, did not perceive as sustainable by the public. So what I'm trying to say here is that they scored point on energy efficiency, but they do not look tropical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the kind of dualities or the one extremes on tropical where it is always open, relaxed, yeah, having a lot of shades, voids, yeah, and lines of shades is actually against this full glazing, but that's how the public see. If you have large glass, even though they don't know that it is low E glazing or double or triple, they say it is out of contact. They are not tropical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the last that I wanted to share. Is actually this kind of idea actually come from our forefathers anyway, our domestic or traditional architecture. So if the architect put more effort and concentrate more on the passive strategies first, by showing understanding of solar and climate control for their facade treatment, the image of sustainable buildings may be easily translated to the public.
Okay.
The architect can later employ building efficient system to increase the energy efficiency of the high rise. So understand the climate phase, then go into technologies to actually get the actual comfort. Yeah.
Okay.
So can I say that is the answer?
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Prof,
Thank
for
you.
the explanation. Also, thanks,
Thank you,
Mr.
Professor.
Baharawan, for your
You're
question.
welcome.
I hope everything is okay in Istanbul.
Excuse me?
I hope everything is okay in Istanbul.
Everything is okay in Istanbul, also in the
so,
same condition as many countries around me.
Yeah,
We know that we are
yeah.
isolating ourselves in a house because of this pandemic, and hope we are going to finish it soon.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just to add, when what do we learn from this lockdown is that when people are locked in, they don't pollute, so the environment is the happiest.
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's right, exactly.
Yeah, I think we will be having a final question from our audience, Umaswaran. So I read out the Umaswaran message. Okay, my question will be, are existing policies and regulation in our country enough to promote green buildings? Do you think people are aware of existence of green buildings at the first place? What can be done to encourage adoption of green buildings in today's construction industry? I think Prof did answer a few of the question. So maybe Ifan, Mr. Tai, can you enlighten our audience here on this question?
Okay. So the question is whether our government can do more, right? Or whether it's enough. To many, it's always never enough. Like, of course, the more the merrier, right? The more incentive, the more the better. But what I can share is, out of the many different states, there are some states which are more advanced in the sustainability part, and some are less advanced, but they are trying to do more incentive or provide it. For say we are in Johor, we have a low carbon society city, and then we have much more NGO here. So actually we are moving ahead of other states. But actually the most advanced states in Malaysia is actually Penang, because they have got Penang Green Council, which was set up like 10 years ago. They are also the first state that promote no straw. Also the first state that promotes cycling. They are the first state that have the cycling path and all these green initiative, or rather sustainability initiatives for the people of Penang. Of course, KL have that. Then now Malacca is also having their own tools. So I mean, different states have different level of proficiency towards green. I mean, Johor is not doing too bad, frankly speaking, but we need to play catch up to the northern part, the Penang part. Because in MGBC, we also have the northern chapter, we have a Sabah chapter, we have a central, we have southern. We have not got a Sarawak chapter. So once they have formed the East Coast or the Sarawak chapter, then the NGO will promote more to the local authority, and hopefully everybody will have will enjoy our environment more. Yes.
Okay.
I think Felix, I think
Yeah.
has set up the low carbon council. Yeah. Just like Penang, but they name it low carbon council, state low carbon council. I think they set up sometime last year, so it's only about a year.
Okay.
I'm not sure with the change of governments and whether that is still on. But it's a good thing, and I think, like Ifan said, we are playing catch up. But at the end of the day, to answer Umes Warren, I think if we can stop new building from being constructed if they are not green, then we will have more building. That's one. But at the same time, if we can actually increase our capacity to give incentive to renovate existing building to become green, then you can actually increase the percentage of green building in the country.
I see. Yeah, that is a good point. All right. So I think we have come to the end of our talk today. So I must send my gratitude to Prof. Hamdan and Mr. Tai Ifan for spending the whole afternoon with us today. I think all of our audience did learn a lot. So Alexis, I pass the stage back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Felix. And one of our participants, I think is from the university student. You're also interested to join the NGBC. So just now we post in our chat box that we have the junior membership. So I think Prof, maybe you can brief on this part. I think maybe the participant is interested to join.
Yeah, like I have answered in the chat box. Yeah, there is a student memberships, or we call it junior memberships. So the membership fee is 40 ringgit. Yearly subscription or renewal is actually 20 ringgit. So it's a small amount of money as subscription fee to become a member. But we do have numbers of student, undergraduate student and student joining MGBC. Yeah. We also have a few in our MGBC Southern Chapter. The only thing is that the junior members may not be able to vote during the AGM, yeah, but they can actually have all the right, just like any other members, to join any activities except voting. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor. And today we are really thank you to have our moderator, Mr. Felix, and also our two guest speaker, Professor Handan, and also Mr. Tai Ifan. And we really feel really happy that today you are come together to understand more about the green building, because green building is something we actually need to look into it. We need to make our world better. We need to have the sustainable development. So with the sustainable development, we must, the first come to the development is how do we have more green building? How do we have the balance in between the development in our all the ecosystem, system, and all the lifestyle. So once again, really thank you to have all of you to stay with us in this afternoon, and we hope to see you guys again. And today's video we will put in our buildhardjb.com Facebook page, because we couldn't go online. I think there's something wrong with the internet, but never mind. After this one, we will upload to our Facebook page. So you are welcome to share our video, and we will see you again next time. So thank you, Prof. Thank you, Mr. Tai. Thank you, Felix. And it's good to see someone from Istanbul. Wow, so far away. So happy to see you.
All right.
Yeah.
So yes, it's a very good opportunity for me to be in touch with you and other professor and moderator and Mr. Tai.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Bhavan.
Yeah.
You are welcome, Professor.
Thank you.
Hope to see you soon.
Yeah.
Okay.